Well, Jamar Sanders had struggled a little bit at the free throw line in the early part of the season. He's a perfect 5 of 5 tonight.
Good defensive pressure.
Swatted out of bounds by Sanders. And again, aggressiveness at the offensive end, aggressiveness at the defensive end. And UAB still has its foot on the throat of the Georgia Bulldogs. It's UAB's home opener here in Birmingham, and they've got a 14-point lead on the Georgia Bulldogs. And, Coach, the Blazers have done it at both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively.
Well, they certainly have. Here's the baseline pass to the middle for an easy shot. And, of course, here Georgia comes back, tries to get something, doesn't. Good dribble drive inside, kick back to the three-point shooter. He drills it. Georgia... not as good offensively in the second half as they were the last part of the first half.
With Mike Davis getting a lot of Howard Crawford, who had that huge dunk and then the three-point shot. He's got to hit a couple of three-pointers here in the second half. And Georgia's shooting percentage may be better by the numbers overall in the second half as Tompkins misses the long three. Great save by Leslie. But UAB continues to have an... You can see referee Patrick Adams over at the officials' table. They're trying to check the substitutions if they were done properly. We'll make sure everybody is on the floor who should be on the floor. They're also perhaps trying to figure out the foul was on. There is some confusion over who's going to get the ball.
This is a time in the game where Georgia, actually before this time, it's a 1-and-1, Paul.
So that means the foul was on Jamar Sanders. That puts UAB over the limit. Georgia shoots 1-and-1. So instead of taking the ball out on the baseline, initially there was confusion over perhaps Jeremy Price was called for the foul. He's the one who is fouled and will go to the line, where he's 1 of 2 on the night.
You know, Georgia's got to come down and make the defense. They've got plenty of time, make the defense work a little bit rather than quick shooting it. I know Mark Fox has told his team that. Sometimes you just don't always do what you need to do.
Well, this is an
in this basketball game,
important element for Georgia if they're going to come back with the clock not running, already in the bonus.
That's exactly right. And they got, Mike's team got some quick fouls early, and this is a chance for Georgia to, make a game out of this thing if they'll come down and be smart with it.
So Price hits them both. We have a 13-point game. Aaron Johnson tries to set his offense as we approach the 9.5-minute mark here in the second half. Blazers, no surprise, content to now be patient with the ball on the offensive end. 10 on the shot clock. Three-pointer, picked off by Price. It was touched. Keeping that from being a goaltend, a groan from the crowd. Mayfield to the basket. Freshman DeMario Mayfield with his first basket as a collegian. And Mike Davis wants timeout as the lead has been cut to 11. DeMario Mayfield's first college basket has made it an 11-point game. Paul Crane, Wimp Sanderson, and our CSS crew here in Birmingham, where UAB has an 11-point lead midway through the second half. And basketball fans need to check out Talkin' Hoops on CSS. It's starting in December. An exciting, in-depth look at college basketball from top-notch experts who know the game the best. Stay on the ball with Talkin' Hoops, and it's coming your way in December only on CSS.
Team fouls 7-4, so Georgia has a chance now to get something done, and UAB's a long way from going to the line 1-1. We'll just see if they can get back in this basketball game.
Approaching 8.5 minutes to play in the game. Little turnaround by Howard Crawford, who has been red hot here in the second half. That's 10 points in the second half, 14 in the game. Pressure. Price has it slapped away by Sanders. And timeout called and granted for Georgia. Well, almost had a costly turnover there.
They were about to lose possession of the ball, and quickly coach called timeout because there was some problems in the backcourt. Basketball comes into the block area right before this, and UAB gets an easy shot against that zone defense. They didn't do a good job offensively. Defensively, you've got to protect the inside defensively.
But there was Jeremy Price standing with the ball and not paying attention to Aaron Johnson, who slapped it out of his hands back in his own end. That was almost a costly turnover, and something Georgia certainly cannot afford at this point in this game.
Well, they can't afford to give up easy shots like that in the basketball game where they've moved within 11 points of the game, and then their zone defense wasn't very effective.
You can see Coach Georgia has shot the ball statistically better than it did in the first half.
Yeah, a little bit better.
But as you have mentioned, they need to have good shot selection and be a little more patient, though time is becoming of the essence. Price inside. Fouled on the way up, and the crowd thought it was all ball.
Well, in my opinion, Price needs to go up, bank the shot in, and make it instead of that bull stuff of going up there and trying to dunk the basketball so far away you can't. You got to make shots around the basket. I'm hung up on that. You get the basketball around the basket, come out of there with something. You know, they don't give any style points in this game. They give 1 from the line, 2 inside the three-point line, 3 outside, but they don't give any styles. And so many times, players think about style points. I don't like that.
The foul was called on Howard Crawford. You can see that Vincent Williams comes in for Dustin Ware. Price has made 4 in a row at the free throw line. He's 4 of 5 there on the night. 5 in a row. And with the clock not moving, Georgia makes it a single-digit lead for UAB. Tompkins with a steal. But wild pass. Slavaric couldn't hold it. Williams was in the way.
Bad Jeff, you're not going to throw the ball to a 6'10 guy in the middle of the floor, one 6'10 to another. You either hold on to the basketball or you get the basketball to a guard. You're not going to throw it to another big man who can't handle it.
Williams tried to get his hands on it but couldn't. Another three-point effort by Crawford. And it's foul call. 3-point. Trey Tompkins picks up his 4th, and the three-pointer's good. All of a sudden, Georgia tries to get back in, but again, UAB has an answer. 3 and 1 coming. Well, it has been Howard Crawford's night here at UAB. Paul Crane and Wimp Sanderson alongside, and Coach Howard Crawford, his 3rd three-pointer of the second half. He got the roll, and they're trying to figure out who did the foul and where did it come.
Yeah, I think they're going to count the basket and also send somebody to the line. So, I guess the basketball is going to be out of bounds. But he has had a good night shooting the basketball, and about the time Georgia gets back in it, UAB makes a little bit better run.
So the foul called on Georgia. UAB gets the ball back. Johnson inside. Missing the layup is Cameron Moore. Crowd wanted to walk. Doesn't get it. Now does.
You gotta have your pivot foot established. You gotta be still with it. You can't do things that you're not capable of doing. And Georgia's back to the zone defense.
It should be noted that Trey Tompkins is off the floor with 4 fouls. Johnson driving, deflected. Georgia's got the ball. Mayfield has to back up. Nice job by Elijah Millsap to close them off. Under 7 minutes to play here. Price inside and off the glass.
Off the glass, came out with something. Good bounce pass inside, which is I think the best pass to throw to an inside player unless there's a front there. And Georgia did some good things.
11 now for under 6.5 to play.